Okay, I'm going to walk you through using the app here and how we've been doing the Facebook Live and phone live streaming. So you're going to need the church's iPad, the red cover, and then you're going to need a laptop. And you need to be the editor or the administrator on the church's Facebook page in order to be recording and using that. Get the iPad. You're going to want to take it out of its case, because it's going to fit better up here. And whether I'm going to simply log in now, and there's a login code on the instruction page. And as you look at this, that's your desktop on the iPad. On the very bottom here, there's a gray box with some green lines. That's the app that we are using to do the Facebook and the phone at the same time. So a neat, flashy app. So I poked the app. I'm going to put the thing on the iPads on the stand here, the tripod with the holder, hoping you will have one. If not, you can be propping up the iPad as you need or hold it. That's your call. So if you look at the screen here before we switch over, on the very bottom you see as I'm talking now, it's picking up my sound, my volume, my voice, the audio. You see a big red circle over here. That's going to be important because that's the start button. And when we do start, there will be a little timer clock up here. Above and below the red circle are some other buttons. And if you do some zooming in or zooming out, try to do it in the middle of the screen, because if you do it over here, you might hit one of those and you could be suddenly the one being filmed instead of looking at the church, because it does the flip-flop. So just kind of a heads up on that. And of course, with the holder here, you can move it. Once I've got this on here and it's clamped in well, there is an audio cable here that looks like this. And the red dot over there, the audio on the iPad is down in the bottom left-hand corner. So I'm going to plug that in and watch the screen. It should say, if we go well here, headset microphone. So now you know that is connected, and the audio then from the sound system is going to feed directly into the iPad. So it's a clear sound. If you've listened to the phone live streaming or even Facebook Live, it's made a huge difference. So it's only when you plug it in you get that. So watch for that. If it doesn't show up, take it out and put it in again. So that's the iPad. Okay, let's come over to my laptop then. And again, whoever does this, you gonna sit beside me, Ian? Whoever does this needs to be either an editor or an administrator for the church's Facebook page. And right now that's what it's looking at. And Facebook changed a few things recently, and hopefully everybody's is looking the same. To try to do this from a phone or an iPad, I think would be a bit tricky, so a laptop is probably the way to go. So you look across here, you got home, about, photos, events, and more, and there's a little triangle there. I want to click on the more, and I want to click on videos. And then I'm going to go to Visit Creator Studio. And then it's opening a new tab up on the top here, as you can see. So I let it do that. And then I've got three choices over here. I'm going to want to go live. It's not going to happen immediately, so don't worry. And I'm going to push go live. And then we wait. It's going to open another tab up above here. You just see it's opening another one. Sometimes this takes a moment or two, so just be patient. You see the time it's taking here. Okay. So what you want to check on this page so that it's going to work, make sure it's use stream key, because we're going to go live, so it needs a live stream. And then under setup options, you need to use the persistent stream key. If that does not have a check in it, check it, or it will not record. You will get a message up here saying, when you try recording, and it will say about Facebook connection error. And odds are, but this is the stream key that's set up to go with that app. So that must be checked. So the other thing you see here is waiting for live video. Little black box in the bottom corner here. We have not started the Lyrics app, so therefore nothing's happening here. Once I push that red button up there, it will start calling people on the phone and letting them know St. John's is now live, and it will also be making a connection with Facebook. once I push that red button, and I'm going to then be watching for a picture to appear down here. So I'm guessing you've captured all this in the same thing here, Ian. I'm going to go ahead and start this. And that red circle becomes a little red box, and there's a little timer running up here, the very corner, and now you see down here we've got a picture down here. That's good. Go over to the left-hand corner. It's still not live. Push go live. Don't worry about adding titles, just push another go live. And you'll see it's thinking a bit over here. You'll see a blue thing there. Now it says live. So this is when those on Facebook are now picking it up. So anybody who happens to be listening right now, yes, St. John's is live on Facebook. And I am walking through how we use this app to do both the phone and the Facebook on Sundays. So that says live, and you just, work with the iPad during the worship on where you need to focus. And once worship is done, have I missed anything, Ian? Not yet. He's shaking his head no. Good. Once we're done with worship, then you're going to shut this off. You're going to stop it. That's the red box there. And that's going to stop both the phone as well as the Facebook Live. It's going to start stopping it, but it's not actually totally stopped. Now you see the box has gone black there, and now we want to end live video. If you end this video now, you'll be able to choose if you want to save or delete it. We're going to end it. So that's kind of what comes up next. And what do you do then, Ian, at this point? Just leave it be?
I usually turn off the iPad.
Well, let's back up then. I'm going to put the laptop down. Hopefully I won't get too tangled up in my mic here. And shut off the iPad. That's up here in the top corner.
Which is something you didn't show.
Which is something I didn't show at the beginning, is right in a slide to power off. I'm also going to need to unplug that audio cable.
Be careful, check how charged it is and to see if it needs recharging for the next week.
Yep, and we'll put the cable, the charging thing to plug in. And in case you don't know, the charging cable goes in the very bottom underneath this big silver, the button with the silver around it. That's where you would plug it in to charge. The on and off, you see that's your camera up there. Is that right?
No, the camera's on the back.
Camera's on the back.
Oh, there's a front camera. That's the front camera.
That's the front camera. If you're doing a selfie, but as you're doing worship, it's looking through back here. Yep. But the on and off is up here. You probably can't see that. It kind of blends right in, but there's a little thing you push there. And you don't need it, but there's volume things here on the side. But that's not here there because we're doing a direct feed. So that's done. And I can put this back into its case. And I'll put it with the big button. That's the start button down there on the bottom. Slide and snap it back in and close that up. So that's done. And come back to the video here. That has ended. I'm going to go back to my home page now and just pull up St. John's. And here's our little thing that finished 2 minutes ago. And oh dear, 3 people reached and 3 engagements. I'm actually going to, those 3 dots there, clicking on those, I can delete this post, which is what I'm going to want to do. But the other thing, if this is the actual worship, what you can then do is click pin to top of page.
And you've also got to copy the link there. You can.
You can if you want. Tammy's probably going to take care of that. But, at this point I'm going to delete this one because we don't need to save this. This is just the walkthrough. But if this were the actual worship, I would click the pin to top of page, and then as people go to the church page for those first days after worship, they can easily find it and it's not down the thread somewhere. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to delete this post. So that's gone. And here's our worship from Sunday. And you can see if I wanted to remove that from the top, I could unpin from top. But there's no need to do that. When you record this next Sunday, that new one, you pin to top, and then this one will bounce down among the posts. So I guess that's probably all you need to know, just information. If I went back to that page on videos, you see all the videos that we have done here. Many days ago, a week ago, I wish they did dates on these instead of 2 weeks and 4 weeks and whatever, but there they are, and they show you how many views. So devotion on, not my last Wednesday, it would be the 23rd here. There were 179 views. Last Sunday we had 106 views, but remember Facebook Live was not live because of a change with Facebook, which we didn't know about at the time. But you should be fine now. So that number will probably pick up a bit, but the Sunday before was 169, so just kind of interest. And then if I want to go back to the main page here, I just push home. So that hopefully helps. There's written directions for doing this, but sometimes people will do better if they can actually watch somebody do it. So I hope that's been helpful. I've covered everything, Ian?
I think so.
Okay.
Obviously, then you take the iPad.
Yep, an iPad, it needs to be put back securely wherever it's agreed that that is going to go live, and if it needs charging, that needs to be done, and it probably should not be left plugged in all week, however. Would not be a good idea. It should go about 10 hours roughly, so it should probably once a month it's going to need to be charged. But you'll have to work that one out. So I think that's it, and I'm going to put my laptop to sleep here.
Enjoy it.
And we are done. Have fun doing this. People have greatly appreciated the phone, and it's always a backup. If Facebook Live doesn't work, as happened last Sunday because of a change there that none of us knew about, then, you know, people have got that phone backup, and those who did it last Sunday, the September 27th, were amazed at how clear the phone connection was. So, blessings as you go forward.